streamers Dark Shadows 59. Thank you both for helping us put together this whole show for everybody.
Well, speaking of show, it's time to get it on the road. Big 20 at Link's house.
Looks like both of our runners are going to start with Uncle, which is a pretty usual play, I'd say, although I have seen a handful of runners go Houlihan in this tournament.
And can't go wrong with the classics, just make sure to get that sign thrown on the soldier and then hope for a good tier 1 triple. What do we get this time?
Arrows is never a great start because you never know how long it's going to be before you find that bow.
Just watch the bow be in this side chest right here.
Oh, no, instead it's the big key to Eastern. That is a fantastic early find.
Well, okay, the spirit of the bow is here because that is where you get the bow in the vanilla game. How about a blue cane instead?
Early safety is generally a good thing in my book.
Agreed with that. Now I expect both runners to go into Sanctuary and find... It's hard for me to tell if that's a vanilla heart container or not.
It was a heart container. I don't know where Mikan is going here. Maybe he's...
I think
gonna farm
Mikan...
for bombs, is what he's
Yeah.
gonna do. He's gonna go south of the town and try to find some bombs.
Whereas TRANQ is going to head up the northern end, probably going to check out Lumberjack, unless I'm... There we go. I was worried when it wasn't going north.
It looks like he's spending a little time maybe setting up a tier 2 or tier 3 triple, maybe? We'll see if he goes through with that.
And in the meantime...
is having a little bit of luck. He's got 3 bombs. That'll get him through Kakariko.
Tier 2 or Tier 3, couldn't tell which one it was. That is a full magic container. Nice.
Yeah, if that's tier 2, they might abuse that a little bit in this match if they can find something that gives them magic.
The crab only was dropping fairies. Uh-oh, that is a small key in the Lumberjack Cave. We may have a required Aga Seed. And we may have a required Boot Seed, depending on if that powder in the library is necessary.
I know I'd be itching to get that powder. I enjoy having that safety as soon as I can get it, especially before some of the later dungeons. And there's a mirror in the Lost Woods.
Oh, that is nice to find, especially if we have to go into the Dark World early. Tavern only had a heart container. What do we have in the forest hideout? Bombs. Maybe the chicken coop will have something good.
Just more bombs, which early bombs are the best kind of bombs.
Indeed, especially since you just spent 1 bomb, you got 3 back, so there you go, you've improved your investment. Though, speaking of investment, note the rupee counts. We don't have enough to pay the bottle vendor.
We are definitely low right now, but we do have another 10 chests we can check before we need that 100 rupees.
Alright, attention's going to be split because they're both approaching from other end. 50 rupees is the first well item. Second one, big key to ice. Red rupee, piece of heart, and small key.
Blindsot has a big 20. Oh, the bow, along with a full heart container, and the ice rod. Blind is hiding all kinds of good stuff for us.
And the bottle vendor can now be paid for piece of heart.
And half magic! That is one of the best Blindsots I've ever seen. Mikan is about to roll in this stuff.
I'm slightly concerned, though, with what we've been given. It's like this seed wants us to go to Turtle Rock this early?
It sure seems like it wants us to go to Eastern, which is a good early play. We're just, what, one lamp short of full clearing Eastern?
I think our runners are able to handle the dark rooms without a problem, so it's probably going to be a sequence break full clear. I'm just thinking about far ahead, because seeing an ice rod that early, you have to wonder if that ice rod is going to come into play. So now, go ahead.
So we're gonna have our runners kind of switch places here. We're gonna see a little bit of duplication here. So what's next for our runners? Do you think they're probably gonna head south, or do you think they're gonna go straight to eastern?
A part of me wants to say Eastern. Admittedly, you only need pots. The bow may be enough, but keep in mind the arrow count. Just like the vanilla game, you start with being able to carry 30 arrows. I don't think we've seen an arrow capacity upgrade show up yet for our runners. So it may actually be best to consider waiting until you get a sword if you can help it, or at least get some more arrows in your quiver. So I actually think we're going to see them go south.
Certainly looks like Mikan's going that way. We'll see if TRANQ makes a different decision after he checks the library and the race game.
So Mikan is right now heading towards the Light World Dam, I believe. 2 items available, and preparing the mirror for a block glitch.
And there's our book to give us access to desert. So we're just, what, a flute away from being nearly everywhere in the light world?
Just about. Also, to old Mr. Sunshine 20, that there was the magic powder in the library, but we also have flippers at the dam. That's kind of appropriate.
Yeah, there was somebody lost him on the way of getting to that dam. This seed has so much in it already that you just wonder at what point are they both just going to stall and search for that, I don't know, hookshot, fire rod, something important.
Mini Moldorm Cave, check. Cane of Burna strats. I like this.
Oh, I love it. You've got half magic, you don't have a sword, only 5 bombs. That worked very well. We'll see how TRANQ handles that cave.
Alright, first item is silvers!
Oh, and a sword! This seat and boots!
And
What is going on here? This is amazing.
I don't have words for this. But Mikans apparently does, heading all the way to the Ice Rod Cave.
So TRANQ is trying some arrow strats in this cave. I can't say I've ever seen that one, and it did not work out well.
That may be why we don't always see arrow strats in Mini Moldorm Cave. I don't think TRANQ lost too much time. And in this case, Ice Rod Cave was not the play. But now it's... I think now you go to Eastern Palace.
Yeah, you have to go straight to Eastern. It's certainly a better play than Desert at this point. More is available, plus you've got Sahasrahla. Oh, Mike can fake me out a little bit there. I thought he was going to go up to Escape.
Well, at least checking out the Lake Hylia Island. Fire Rod.
Fire Rod.
And the camper at the back. Who knows what he will have for us today?
So I think this is a little bit of a surprising move by Mikan going up to Hobo and probably routing in Waterfall Ferry. You know, with only 112 rupees, he's not going to be able to check Zora, and maybe there's rupees inside of Sahasrahla or Eastern, so we'll see if this is a decision that he regrets later on, if he has to double dip the Zora area.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you do have access to 3 items right now, but when do you decide to just take care of King Zora and that general area? Do you actually wait, or do you just go for it and hope you don't have to return?
Yeah, it looks like both of our races are doing the same thing, so on the bright side, nobody's gonna lose or gain ground on either one of them.
Well, we don't know that yet. At the very least, the camper play is the same. Waterfall of the Wishing, 20 rupees, and small key to Turtle Rock. That's the second, I believe. Yeah,
you mentioned they were pointing towards Turtle Rock. We'll see if the seed keeps leaning that way.
Alright, we can only see what's on the ledge right now. Will Mikan actually go for it? Nope. Blue
No,
rupee.
nobody's ever going to get a blue rupee there. So the seed has been quite generous. We've got silvers with a bow, we've got boots and flippers and everything else. But we're a long ways from Dark World access. We don't have a moon pearl, we don't have a hammer, we don't have a lift upgrade.
And we don't have the ability to climb up Aghanim's tower and take on the wizard. Interesting split path. Mikan is heading towards the desert. TRANQ is heading towards eastern.
So Mikan's looking at a handful of items here. He can check Agha's cave, and he can check the ledge, and a couple items in desert. And there's a lift upgrade on the desert ledge.
Well, green pendant in swamp, and Mikan is making the right call to go into desert, but what is in Sahasrarla's closet? Small key to castle, tower, and Tower of Hera. Okay, I was worried about two of them showing up.
That small key to Tower of Hera is a nice find before making any trips north. That way we know we won't be triple dipping Hera. We don't know about a double dip yet.
Oh, Mikan, thank you there, Willard J. Bradley. Shoutouts to him for helping keep this tournament organized. In the meantime, first chest in desert. Small key to Palace of Darkness.
So we'll see if TRANQ is willing to try these dark rooms in Eastern. If so, we might see a full clear here in about a couple of minutes. So you get to have a crystal in 15 minutes if TRANQ can pull this off.
And Mikan going to pick up those gloves. This is an excellent play. First chest in Eastern, bomb capacity upgrade.
So with these gloves, I think I would do the back of escape before going to Eastern. So we'll see if Mikan is thinking Mikan is thinking the same thing as I am.
Well, you're already in the area. Why don't we check out Agina's cave or Agina, depending on how you pronounce his name. Second chest in Eastern, another Era capacity upgrade, and another Palace of Dark.
Another pod key. So it does look like Mikan is heading towards the back of escape. There's 3 chests that are real quick, and I mean, you're going to save and quit anyway. So this is a check that I do as soon as I possibly can.
Nice skeleton kills on TRANQ's side. Eastern chest, compass, to pod.
And there's a big key to Dark Palace over on Mikan's side. So as early as this was pointing us to Eastern, we've actually found nothing really in Eastern. But we have found quite a bit pointing to pod now. So maybe that'll be our early Dark World play.
We are still missing a hammer and a moon pearl, or a second glove and a moon pearl in order to make that official. In the meantime, TRANQ is taking the unofficial logical way of going through the dark rooms while Mikan is checking out the bonk rocks.
Oh, and there's a lamp. So everything that we see in the dark now is going to be in logic. And Mikan is going to make the play up to Death Mountain and Hera, it looks like.
It's not a bad idea, though admittedly... Okay, Arrows is tier 2 it looks like, and the full magic is tier 3. And so far, Eastern Palace has not given up a lot. Only the Armos Knights have the final item, and we hope it's a good one, or at the very least it's a crystal.
Yeah, this could be our early troll after all this stuff, and do all this for a pendant.
Unless, of course, we do end up with a pedestal seed, which TRANQ is concerned about.
So as we see the play up Death Mountain, there's not too many items up here to be had without the hammer. We can get a couple items in Hera. We've got the 2 on west side of Death Mountain and the Old Man. So we're at what, 6 chests that could be found here? Or 6 items?
6 that we can get. Ooh, Master Sword. Make that a new 6 because... Ooh, Mikan probably forgot the Ether Tablet was available there.
Is he going straight to Aga? Is that this play?
Nope, heading
No.
straight to Eastern, I think.
So, he didn't really waste any time there, because he created that save spot, or the continue spot, with the old man. So, I mean, that play needed to be made. We'll see maybe if they find a flute, maybe it cost him a couple seconds, but I mean, he can always get back right to where he was. I thought that was a very interesting play for an item that is going to help him in this dungeon.
I have to agree with that. And now, thanks to those silver arrows we found at the mini Moldorm cave, these Armos Knights are gone in 6 shots. There's the hammer!
And
And it's a crystal!
Mikan will be very happy that he made this decision, and if he can get through Eastern, which should be no problem, to get that hammer before going up to Hera.
So now all we're missing is the Moon Pearl. So where is that going to be? Could the Moon Pearl be locked on the pyramid ledge?
It certainly is possible at this point. But we've got a lot of Death Mountain to check before we go to Aga, before we go to Aga, I think.
I am inclined to agree. I think TRANQ is heading towards Desert now, and so he will be handsomely rewarded for this.
So yeah, I think the Death Mountain play is the play to make, because even if you don't find something great, I mean, you might find a sword, maybe you don't find the Moon Pearl, yeah, you might find the sword, you might find, hey, maybe we'll find 2 swords, maybe we'll find Hookshot. I mean, we've got so many items that we could find up in Death Mountain. And
Indeed.
with the way we've been just rolling off key items, it just feels like this roll needs to keep happening. This is great.
Yeah, I mean, with that hammer, you can go all the way up Western Death Mountain, cross the bridge to the east, take care of Spiral Cave and Paradox Cave. That's another 8 chests right there. TRANQ sees the good news and is diving into Desert.
And as chat points out, I'm completely forgetting that we don't have keys to get to Aga. So we're going to be waiting on that for a little while.
We do have 1, but that's not 2. And, ooh, thank you to our trekker, Ms. Metroid. Eastern Palace is a Pyramid Fairy Crystal. That means we're already halfway to breaking open the Pyramid of Power and seeing what treasures await. Though, old Mr. Sunshine does bring up a good point here, Scooty. For Keysanity Seed, not a lot of keys.
Yeah, we've only seen a handful. We've seen a couple big keys and not too many more small keys than that. But when you've got access to Eastern and you've got access to at least half of Hera, you don't need a ton of keys yet. I mean, we don't have Dark World access. So I'm sure the keys will start flowing in quickly.
Alright, and TRANQ is probably going to think about heading towards Death Mountain, though we may see a pit stop at... Nope, that safe spot means Death Mountain is likely the play.
I don't believe he's been to the back of Escape yet, or Bonk Rock, so we'll probably see those real quick before the Death Mountain play, but we've already seen these from Mikan.
That is logical. I believe that is where we got the big key to Pod. Compass we don't care about. There is that big key.
So we're 20 minutes in. Both of our runners have a 5/6 crystal. They both have silvers, hammer, 2 swords, boots, lamp, and a handful of big keys. This has been the fastest seed I've ever commented so far, that's for sure. Fastest start, at least. Obviously, there's a lot left to find.
Indeed, and sometimes it's not how you start, but how you finish. Is there going to be a potential troll item or location along the way? Mika is hoping it's not in Death Mountain. He is making the ascent now.
So I believe both of our runners have done exactly the same things once TRANQ does the old man here. And we can see that Mikan has a little bit better routing, potentially because of that lamp helped out in Eastern. So, you know, slight advantage to Mikan in the early game.
Spectacle Rock had nothing of importance. So perhaps we will see what's on the Ether tablet right now. Or we're going to go straight into Tower of Hera. Sure, that works. 3 chests are available right now, as TRANQ gets the Master Sword. Heart Container is the first item in Hera. Mikan is going to pick it up and check the back of the lobby.
So we're creeping up on the second row of hearts, and we haven't even sniffed the Dark World yet. This is one healthy seed, but we don't have a tunic upgrade yet.
That is true. Now, while the seed has been going quite fast, we have to take a little bit and slow down, I'm afraid. Time for that 45-second or so waiting game. Only Mikan is not waiting. Mikan is actually doing artful dodging.
He's got the mirror out, ready to get back to the start of the dungeon. And
TRANQ,
just doing some dancing.
TRANQ is checking out Ether Tablet. What is in here? Bombs.
Just some bombs. Which, you know, when you got 5 bombs, you're not too upset to find 3 more.
Fair point. Basement. Moon Pearl! That is near vanilla, and I think Mikan is happy with it. That's Dark World access.
And thankfully he remembers he has the book, so this little check is not going to haunt him the rest of this run, even though it's nothing.
Karnath, just to confirm, this was technically not vanilla Moon Pearl. This was near vanilla Moon Pearl. If it was vanilla Moon Pearl, you would have had to get it from the big chest, but neither runner has the big key to Tower of Hera yet.
I like to call it French vanilla.
That works. I think I sometimes use spicy vanilla myself. Hookshot Cave Island has a compass, it looked like. We don't care, so how about that Spiral Cave while TRANQ takes a break?
You know, I can't remember the last time I saw something of worth in Spiral Cave. And this seed didn't let me down to keep that trend going.
But I actually like the small shield. It allows you to get the fire shield, which can block some of Blind's projectiles. And then you can get the mirror shield, which allows you to block the lasers on Laser Bridge.
And you can always block that one spear from the guard in front of Swamp Palace with that small shield.
Okay, I don't use the small shield that much, but, you know, progressive items. Gotta work your way up. Paradox Cave has a map to Tower of Hera, so we can at least confirm, once we get a map check, whether Tower of Hera needs to be completed later on. TRANQ is following in Mikan's footsteps. The top of Paradox Cave so far, 51 rupees. About the left 3. 71, 121, And
a worthless map.
the
Well, I think we're still above average with the number of important items we've gotten so far, even with a bunch of rupees and paradox.
I do have to agree, but now where do the runners go here? Admittedly, they could go back and check out the Spike Cave, but I don't know if our runners are going to do that. Instead, Mikan is heading towards... Okay, Tower of Hera, you do have to come back, thank you. We are checking out Southern Dark World.
And we find that Mikan has no information on the Dark World dungeons, but we know there's a few pendants out there to be found.
Well, maybe Hype Cave will have something. Probably a lot of keys at this point. Or Quake. That works too. Compass to Ganon's Tower. There's the hook shot! And a small key to Palace of Darkness. I would call that a decently hyped cave.
Yep, it's certainly a must-visit location in this seed, which doesn't always happen.
Now Mikan is heading to the bomb shop. The bomb boy will tell you where the pyramid crystals are. We already know one of them, and Skullwoods is the other.
Yeah, I wonder if he knew that he already has one of the crystals. I don't know if this is a check I would have made if I knew, but knowing that what was it Skullwoods? Knowing that is certainly good knowledge.
Speaking of good knowledge, Mikan remembers the island with the fire rod and is picking it up right now.
And with a fire rod and a sword, we have access to finish Skullwoods, which gives us access to the Pyramid Fairy, does it not?
That it does. Now, technically we can defeat Mothula, yes, but we can't get all of the items. Now, admittedly, one of the items is always going to be a small key because due to how the holes are and making sure that you can't get soft locked. But we don't have the big key for the big chest yet. However, Mikan is heading towards the library, I believe, to pick up the powder.
Powder could be helpful before entering Thieves Town, if we can find that Thieves Town big key. The back half of Thieves Town has some anti-fairies we could use. Maybe he's gonna check Magic Bat while he's right here with the hammer and powder.
That looks to be the play. I mean, it's right here. It's not going to take that long. We just gotta hope for something good. So, all you gotta do, take some powder, and then sprinkle it in the dye, and then the mad batter shows up. As we all sing, na 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 map.
Oh, and it's the worst map in the game, Hyrule Castle.
Holy uselessness, Batman. Looks like TRANQ is going to start in the Dark World for Skull Woods, and I think Mikan is about to meet up.
So with both runners grabbing that fire rod, I think they have to be thinking of a nearly full clear of Skull Woods. You've got 9 hearts, you've got half magic. It's certainly the play I would make.
I have to agree with that. We have access to 2 easy chests here. If we don't get a small key from here, well, we know where the third one is. And so I like what TRANQ is doing, going for this chest first, guarded by the Gibdo. Piece of heart. And there is our first bottle.
And that's fairly convenient because TRANQ is very likely gonna make his way into Village of Outcasts with the mirror so he can check Sick Kid.
That chest that Trank just opened up, that is the one guaranteed vanilla small key in the game. Hookshotting up to 20 rupees. Oh no! Mikan was grabbed by a Wallmaster. Has to repeat that segment.
At least it didn't cost him a ton of time. It's never fun though, and it certainly is something that can put you on tilt.
Well, hopefully not too much on tilt. Right now, Trank is trying to deal with these Gibdos. There we go. Gotta love the Fire Rod against Gibdos. They burn easily.
Yeah, these runners have plenty of opportunity to kill these Gibdos with silver arrows as well. So how many pod keys is that? Was that number 4?
That is number 4, yes.
And we've got the bow. And we've got the pod big key.
I don't know if our runners know the hammer yump strategy. I mean, technically, it is enough to finish the dungeon entirely, but if I was in their place, I would actually go for at least one more key first.
Yeah, even if they don't know the hammer jump, they can at least get nearly all of the chests.
Well, maybe the back of Skullwoods will have something. Trank is going to take on Mothula first.
Yeah, interesting choice. There could be, you know, that off chance that there's a blue mail or tempered sword down there. I think I'd check that first, given the mirror.
I have to agree with you there, Scooty. But perhaps Trank is confident enough in being able to take on Mothula. Do keep in mind, the red potion is still available.
I like how we're seeing the opposite strategy out of Mikan. It just, you know, that's part of the beauty behind this randomizer is that, sure, these runners are doing pretty much the exact same thing at the exact same time, but there's one 50-50 and you got that choice. I don't think the bug net's going to help, even though we're fighting a moth, but it was worth the check.
Well, you can use the magic powder, turn the anti-fairies into fairies, use the bug net, store them in a bottle. Trank did not even need the bottle to take out Mothula, and second crystal at near the 33-minute mark.
A second red crystal, even.
Indeed. So how quickly will our runners check out the Pyramid Fairy at this point? Oh, hold on. Pedestal check.
Okay, chat, let's see the hype. Everybody loves this part.
Well, and it is a compass.
A compass. I don't think that one's getting pulled.
Head Dream is dead, folks. I apologize. Well, at least we know we don't have to worry about pendants. Now, here's the curious thing, is Trank actually upset or relieved by that because his file name said ped pull required?
Let's just hope he doesn't follow through with that.
Fair point. Mikan taking on Mothula. Has to be careful. There we go. I was worried one of those hits had actually sent Mothula to the spikes, which would have negated the damage.
Yep, solid fights from both runners. We've seen very solid play so far. Trank is gonna route through the Village of Outcasts. We'll see if he enters Thieves Town without that big key. Sometimes, I think all these runners at this point are gonna check the first 4 chests.
That is the 3rd key to Turtle Rock. I'm still calling it. We're gonna see a Turtle Rock play. Now, how about this treasure chest game? Compass, we don't care. Treasure chest game, nothing of worth. And going to, I've seen some runners call this part where TRANQ is bombing into the brewery because it almost looks like a kitchen.
And I suppose those kind of look like barrels or casks. Sure, why not?
And that is all 4 Turtle Rock small keys found. So at the very least, once we get the big key, we can, get all the items, assuming we have all the items. But TRANQ is right now taking on Thieves Town, and I agree with this play. What's in that first chest?
I usually don't root for trolley items, but let's root for a Turtle Rock vanilla big key.
That is nasty. I like it. Oh, and there is the second small key to the castle tower.
That sounds like an interesting play to route in with a pyramid fairy check to me.
I agree. I don't expect Ganon to actually be defeated this time. Unless, of course, that small key is necessary. However, Mikan is checking out the graveyard ledge right now. Ooh, TRANQ has the god key, the small key to Swamp Palace. Graveyard ledge having nothing of importance. Well, okay, map of Turtle Rock would help, so we may get that check.
So how many more important keys do we need? At some point, we can conclude that Aga, or the Lumberjack key, isn't important. I mean, Ice Palace key, you don't really care too much about. We've got a bunch of those out there. Misery Mire key, we've got a bunch of those still left out there. As Mikan picks up Ether in King's Tomb.
And TRANQ gets rich from the sick kid.
So, I mean, Ganon's Tower key, we don't need all 4 of those, right? So, I mean, it could be Desert. Is that it? Thieves Town. So those are the 2 keys that matter at this point.
Now, admittedly, if it ends up that it is a Misery Mire small key, then yeah, we definitely don't care at all. But it's a little soon to state whether that could happen yet. We have to wait and see. Daniel Oberon asks, what is the maximum amount of Ganon's Tower small keys you could need in Keysanity? That would depend on where the Ganon's Tower big key is located. There are 4 small keys that are available outside of GT, or maybe in GT if it ends up being Trolley. Technically, if you don't need to worry about the big key because you already have it, you can get away with 2. 1 maybe. 2 most likely, but the more the merrier, especially if you have to dig for a French vanilla big key.
But to include all scenarios, what, you need 1 to go right side, you need another for what, Firebar room? Is that where the other key gets used? If you're searching all the GT?
There is another key that is used on the west side, but you pick up a key from the pot.
Yeah.
Speaking of picking things up, we're going to pick something up off the ground in the digging game. And it's a map today to Swamp Palace.
Which we already knew
Turtle
was
Rock is a
our
crystal.
green pendant.
Well, Turtle Rock is required today, so our runners are going to do what they can to have that be the last place they go.
So I think TRANQ is set up pretty well, because he has not done Hype Cave yet, is that correct?
I believe TRANQ has, because a hookshot was awarded there.
Hookshot was there. Yep. So I was thinking he could route all the way around and then straight up back to the pyramid. But never mind that. There's another key for us, and it's just a Misery Mire key.
Well, there's one of the pointless ones out of the way. Now, at this point, even though Swamp Palace is a green pendant, we can get all items except one, the big chest item. However, Trank, I think, is heading towards the Bombos tablet.
Yep, this makes sense, and then he can just route right back to Swamp if he wants to. Which seems like it's the play. I don't know, are we starting to run out of options? I mean, sure, we've got some Castle Tower, we've got Pyramid Fairy, but in terms of dungeons, we can go to Pod, we can go to Swamp.
We could go up Castle Tower.
Yep.
And as far as overworld locations go, we still haven't seen King Zora, I don't think, though admittedly
No.
there is a big rupee discrepancy between Mikan and Trank. Trank is actually going into Swamp Palace. So,
yep, this is a fine play. I mean, we've got 10 items, which we can only get 9 because we don't have the big key, but we can get the green pendant here to bring us back up to 10. And since you know you're going to be heading to Pod, getting that green pendant just kind of adds to your route.
oh, Mikan is making the early pyramid play at the 41-minute mark. So, what is going to be up there? Plus, we can actually check out the 2 chests in the Castle Tower, and we may even see Ganon defeated.
I think at this point, if you're going to go into Castle Tower, you should plan on completing it. You know there's a key. I mean, what's the point in going in if you're not going to try to get that key?
That is a fair point. So far, 0 out of 10 in terms of useful items in Swamp. Alright, the bomb has been set. Mikan is going to quickly check out the ledge. 20 rupees, don't care. Now, how about that Pyramid of Power? What do we got? Piece of Heart and bombs.
We were led to believe there'd be something good there because of how quickly we could get to it, but it just didn't happen, and it does look like Mikan is heading up to Castle Tower.
Maybe not up yet. Do keep in mind that we haven't actually done Escape yet.
Oh, that is a fair point. There's 3 more chests that we could see.
4, actually. Because of Dark Escape.
Oh, the dark room too, yeah.
But Mikan is heading straight up Castle Tower. He thinks that it's going to be Aga required. First chest. Well, there's the armor.
I like this play before Swamp, just in case you find that Swamp big key. You know, both runners are probably going to do both of these plays. So why not do the one that you can full clear first?
Oh, there's the other armor. So at least our runners will be fully equipped, assuming they both go in our... Hold on. I did not see that second item in Castle Tower, but Mikan is immediately heading to the escape now. Thank you, Ms. Metroid. It was a map. I didn't see to where, though. So Mikan chose not to finish up Castle Tower yet, instead going into Escape at this point. I don't know about you, Scooty, but would it have made more sense to do bottom of Escape first and then go all the way to the top?
You mean go to the dark room first?
Yeah, do the dungeon raid that Mikan is doing, then the Dark Escape, and then actually climb up Aga Tower.
Yeah, I mean, potentially he's made the decision to just not do Aga. I mean, we do have all those keys. It might just be a risk to just not do it. So if you're going to skip out on doing Aga, it doesn't really matter which of the 3 or which order you do with the mirror.
Kinda, sort of. Since Mikan checked the 2 chests in Aga Tower first... I don't know. I'm still thinking that it could be an Aga-required seed. We still need some more information. There's the Titan's mitts!
So those mitts give us access to Ice Palace, they give us access to Dark Death Mountain, and we are, what, a Cane of Samaria away from Turtle Rock? And potentially a medallion?
That sounds like it. Alright, Mikan going through Dark Escape right now. Hoping that one chest will be useful. And... hold on a second. Old Mr. Sunshine, did I see that right? Oh, never mind. There were just bombs. Well, there are also bombs in Dark Escape.
So... I believe our runners have 2 medallions, is that correct? Didn't they pick up Ether somewhere?
Ether was picked up, yes. I want to say Ether was picked up at Paradox Cave, I think? Hold on, big key, Thieves Town. That may be important. Or no, Ether was King's Tube, and yeah, both runners I'm pretty sure went for that. Now Mikan is heading to Swamp. This is an excellent play. Titan's mitts will be found here, assuming that Mikan remembers to check the left side.
If you're playing Keysanity and you skip on left side, then I think you're asking for trouble.
Alright, TRANQ is just about to deal with Argus. Now, curious question. Master Sword. Do you use the Master Sword or do you use menu strats and switch to the hammer?
Well, TRANQ is answering that for you with doing the Master Sword strats. I think I would stick with a sword myself. Obviously, it's a little different with the fighter sword.
Yeah, I think the only way you could damage with the fighter sword is if you do spin attacks. But to do that, you would have to make sure that there's plenty of distance between you and Argus to get the kids.
And it looks like he's opting for Fire Rod strats to finish off here, instead of Silvers.
I think the intent was to try a quick kill with the Fire Rod. I think it's 2 shots and a spin before Argus goes away. But that I don't know if that requires the Tempered Sword or higher. Argus did not have anything of importance, but that green pendant may come in handy.
So Swamp had lift upgrade, mail upgrade, and that green pendant. Is that about sum up what's in Swamp today?
That's what I gathered. We don't know what's in that big chest that's going to taunt our runners, but maybe they'll be fine. Maybe not. We don't know yet. Ice Palace is a crystal. Thank you for that map check, TRANQ. So at this point, we have 5 out of 7 crystal locations confirmed. We are still missing knowledge about Desert Palace, Palace of Darkness, Thieves Town, and Misery Mire.
So TRANQ is opting to do the Hammersmiths and Pegs instead of going to Pod, which I find slightly curious.
You're kind of right there when you exit Swamp. I get it. I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking they had Flute, and that's one of the items we haven't seen yet. So, you know, you're in the Dark World, and then why not grab this small key while you're at it? But just a mire.
The pool of useless keys is getting smaller. Maybe that a lumberjack key is required. We still don't know yet, though.
I mean, it could very well be a pod key that neither of these runners needs, but in logic, it's there to complete pod.
And the dwarves have a Desert Palace small key, so that's 2 more items on the table. Now, TRANQ chose to not get the purple chest.
He's gonna go Thieves Town first.
And as Mikans gets the Titan's Mitts, did TRANQ actually get the big key from here?
Yes, TRANQ has the Thieves Town big key.
Okay, so it's just Thieves Town small key that we're missing.
That's correct. Yep, that's one of the few important options for that lumberjack play. Because we've got the desert key now, so it could be pod, and if these runners can hammer jump, they don't need it. It could be Thieves Town, which could hold something important. It could be Ice Palace, which is nice for routing, but we don't need it.
That depends on how comfortable our runners are with pulling off the bomb jump. But right now, the big item that we are definitely missing is the Cane of Samaria, as you have alluded to previously.
That is for sure. We definitely need that before we can do anything in Turtle Rock. And we may also need bombos.
And we may also need the flute. I don't think the attic of Thieves Town had anything of importance there. And yes, folks, we do know about Ganon's Tower Big Key. We haven't forgotten about that yet.
Oh, I'm sure it's in the Ganon Tower big chest or somewhere. They'll find it.
Alright, Mikan is heading towards Argus. TRANQ is going to rescue, quote-unquote, the maiden. Of course, may as well take the treasure chest while you're here. Shovel is now available. JTN, where are you at?
So finding that shovel there makes me think TRANQ is going to go and pick up that purple chest and route those both together.
Probably not a bad idea, but first we need to take out Blind. Alright, Blind. What's your pun for the day? Rental agents offer quarters for dollars. Ha ha ha.
I don't get it.
Quarters is another type of, it's another term for living places, and you're exchanging money.
Oh, I don't get it. No, I'm just joking.
Blind goes down. We probably bored him with our explanation. Small key to Skull Woods is not going to help, but it is a crystal.
That crystal helps. So we know about what, 6 crystals? 5 crystals? We've got Eastern and Skull Woods that we've completed. We know that Swamp, Hera, and Turtle Rock are all crystals.
Ice Palace is also a crystal.
Ice, so that's 6.
That is correct. So, where do you think the final crystal is going to be today?
Well, the trolley answer is Misery Mire, and the easy answer is Pod. So let's go with Desert.
I like that. Mikans is heading towards, I'm guessing, Paradox Cave to maybe go up to Turtle Rock?
I hope he's not going to Turtle Rock without that Samaria, but certainly there's a few chests up there.
Yeah, that, and we can at least get a medallion check. I don't know why I am fascinated with Turtle Rock today.
Well, it's pretty rare to go into Turtle Rock with 4 keys.
I will give you that one. Alright, moment of truth. What medallion will our runners need to enter?
It's
Bombos!
Bombos!
The one they don't have, and so now we have to scour the world for that. Alright, maybe Super Bunny Cave will have bombos, making this trip interesting. There was that ether that chat was wondering about earlier. Small key to Ice Palace has been found.
Getting that key to ice just makes it less likely to need to go into Aga Tower. Having 1 key to ice makes routing so much better.
Admittedly, fair point at this stage.
Not that I think either of these runners would go. If you told them it was an Ice Palace key, they'd certainly skip it. So we're checking out Hookshot Cave for the first time. We've got some rupees, some arrows, more rupees, and a bunch of disappointment.
Honestly, I wouldn't skip the Ice Palace small key. I'm not that consistent with the bomb jump. I would not skip Catfish, though. What does that watery fish have today? Heart container.
Yeah, you're never going to be upset with a full heart, but you certainly hope for better. Looks like Mikan has given us our first check of Spike Cave.
I like this. Relatively early in the run, a number of runners sometimes forget about this location, and TRANQ is finally going to show what King Zora has in store today.
Why doesn't Mikan have any rupees?
It's entirely possible that we had missed Mikan's checking King Zora, or, as Ms. Metroid is pointing out, Mikan's likes buying the red potion. King Zora, map, where to? Misery Mire,
Oh, that could be important.
In this case, knowledge is power. Mikan already remembers the knowledge about Ice Palace. He's going in. With 1 small key and the big key, it is much easier to get all of the items here. And that was too quick of a map check for me to confirm what Misery Mire was, though I think Ms. Metroid caught it. Misery Mire is a pendant.
So we may not see the flute. There's a chance here. To answer a question in chat, the ledge, Zora's ledge was 5 rupees. Are we finally seeing that pod play? We've been set up to go to pod for what feels like a half hour, maybe I'm exaggerating. But TRANQ seems to be making that play while Mikan is taking on ice.
Not quite. I think TRANQ is going to take care of the pyramid fairy first.
Yep, he got me.
So here's the curious question. How comfortable are our runners going for the hammer yump in Palace of Darkness? Do you know?
I do not.
Neither do I, admittedly. It's not a trick that I go for. I was fortunate enough to witness it being done unbuffered once.
I tried it for the first time in my last seed and failed 4 times. And yeah, it wasn't fun.
Well, at least we know Mikan doesn't have to worry about the Ice Palace bomb jumps, so that one is good.
That one I expect, you know, what do we have? 208 runners in this tournament. I expect 200 of them to be able to pull that off pretty consistently.
And thanks to both the OK Guy and Karnath, both runners should be comfortable with the hammer jump. Or hammer jump, excuse me. Need to use the correct terms here.
Now, Mikan has a key and chose a little bit different routing than we generally see from these runners.
Yeah, didn't he go north from that trap room?
Yep. Which I think this sets up the other bomb jump into the iced tea room, I think. Might need that key to do that.
It's definitely not a route I'm familiar with, but let's at least see what's inside. Ooh, big key! Tower of Hera, that is important. Nice find. That technically means Tower of Hera may end up being our last dungeon. Because go to Turtle Rock, then go to Tower of Hera, then you go back to the, back through the mirror. TRANQ has chosen to forego Palace of Darkness as well and is going into Ice Palace.
So there, Mikan just used that key anyway to open that door. So, maybe it's just a little lapse of not remembering the key. So here is the other spot in Ice Palace that some runners choose to do a bomb jump. It's right across this gap to save a little bit of routing time. This gets us to this iced tea room right down here.
So I think that key that was spent earlier was intentional, because that allowed going straight through. It was like you fell down, you looped around, crossed over. I think getting that small key allowed for that type of routing. So now all Mikan has to do is go back up, fall into the hole on the left, do the hookshot trick, which I'm pretty sure he knows how to do, and then gotta take out Cold Stare.
Which, with half magic and red mail, is certainly not the hardest Cold Stare fight we're going to see in this tournament, but that fight's never really that easy.
Well, the heart container will help a little bit. And that is what the payoff for that Ice Palace bomb jump is. Not having to go through the long circuit.
TRANQ shows off that Ice Palace bomb jump one more time for us.
Now, without bombos, you have to have 8 fire rod shots hit the casing of Cold Stare. Fortunately, half magic allows some mistakes to be made.
Yeah, I don't believe either of our runners has blue or green goo. Very solid fight by Mikan.
Agreed. Cold Stare drops a map of Ganon's tower, and there is that crystal.
So we see a little bit different routing from TRANQ, who didn't have a key going into Ice Palace, unlike our other runner.
Yeah, I think TRANQ is taking the route I would do if I ever complete the Ice Palace bomb jump. Get the big chest, come down and around, saving yourself having to spend a small key, and then just work your way around. Now, Mikan is heading up Death Mountain, but based off of this routing choice, I think he is going to take out Tower of Hera right now instead of saving it for the end.
Which, I'm just very confused. Both of these runners spent the time to get that green pendant, and neither one of them goes to pod.
They may both have the knowledge of doing the hammer jump, but that doesn't mean they want to do it.
That's true.
So it's entirely possible that they are looking for a 5th key. I mean, with 5 keys, I get it. You can take the bow path. Nice swag with the bumper enemies. So, you know, better to go to pod with 5 keys rather than 4 unless you're extremely confident you can pull off that hammer jump almost every time.
That is true. But how far are we from finishing this here? Are we close to go mode here with our runners? We're not far from it.
There you go. Palace of Darkness small key, just like I predicted.
So it would lead me to believe that since we know that they both can do the hammer jump, I would open that front door, because that just makes routing so much better. You open that front door, you can hit the mirror 3 times and keep going back to the start, and still get everything, assuming you can pull off that hammer jump.
So regarding what the runners need for go mode, hold on, I want to make sure that Trolldorm gets his just desserts. There we go, just desserts. So we are looking for the Cane of Samaria.
No, we're not! Oh, nice timing.
That was unintentional, I swear. We were looking for the Cane of Samaria. Commentator's blessing?
So we need Bombos to get into Turtle Rock. We need the TR Big Key. Do we not have that yet?
We do not have the Turtle Rock Big Key yet, that is correct.
We potentially need Desert Big Key, because that could be a crystal for us. And obviously we need the GT Big Key. Did I leave anything out?
Double checking. I don't think you are. But I think at this point, Mikan has finally listened to you. We're going to see a Palace of Darkness play. And hopefully drop off the green pendant as well. Mirror's already equipped for the job.
TRANQ's got to be careful. He's going to use his red goo to get through this fight with the hammer.
Ended up not needing it, but better safe than sorry. Sahasrara only offers a piece of heart for today. So at this point, if Palace of Darkness is a crystal, we are missing both big keys to Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower, as well as a small key to Ganon's Tower, which I'm surprised I haven't seen yet, for go mode.
So I'm expecting a full clear here from Mikan. We've got 14 different chests in this Palace of Darkness.
Starting with the shooter room, heart container, and I think Mikan is going to go for that hammer jump, plowing straight through the center door. Whereas TRANQ is going to explore the Eastern Death Mountain right now. Second chest in pod having money.
Having all these keys, we're essentially just seeing open mode style routes here.
So far, we haven't found what we're looking for yet. Alright, maybe the bow path will have something. So right now I'm just thinking back to AGA 1. The thing is, Zelgadison does bring up a good point. If the Ganon's Tower big key is found outside of Ganon's Tower, you can dive down the left side, get a small key, and then just climb up the tower. You don't need a small key for Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, I think the only key left that we need is to get to the big chest in Thieves Town, if we need that chest.
Sorry to interrupt, but Bombos was found at the top of the bow path. So that means Turtle Rock is almost completable. Speaking of completable, Mikans is going after the Helmosaur King right away. Now,
It's interesting play because it's, you know, go mode minus a couple big keys.
indeed. Remember, folks, we still don't know where the Turtle Rock big key is yet. And technically, if Palace of Darkness is a pendant, we don't know where the Desert Palace big key is yet either.
But that's why I like this play. You go and kill Helmosaur, you figure out right away, is this a crystal or is this a pendant? And it'll just clarify what is still needed.
But yeah, based off of where our runners have explored and the keys collected and stuff, I think AGA 1 is dead at this point.
You say that until Thieves Town Big Chest has the Ganon's Tower Big Key, and it's the very last thing we check.
That's the only way AGA 1 is alive, and I'm not counting on it. Which means watch it happen right here. Time to take out the Helmosaur King. By keeping your sword equipped as if you were going to do a spin attack, you can rapid fire the hammer, especially as the King Helmosaur comes down. 17 swipes breaks the mask, and then 1 silver arrow in the jewel. I said 1 silver arrow in the... Thank you, King Helmosaur, for cooperating. The item is a small key to Thieves Town.
There we go.
And it's a crystal. Okay, now AGA 1 is dead.
So I expect Mikan to go straight up to Turtle Rock after checking what's left here in Pod.
And TRANQ is going to check out Spike Cave, which didn't really have anything of worth. Alright, knowing Mikan, he's probably going to go all the way north, go down to the cellar area for the 2 items, go down to the Harmless Hellway, and then hammer jump all the way to the Dark Maze.
I just want to stop and think about how great of a feeling it was to see that Thieves Town small key. I mean, I guess Mikan still doesn't know that it's not the desert small key, but we know as commentators that we aren't going to see AGA 1, which just feels so good.
Yeah, nothing wrong with a very quick seed. There's the second shield. And Mikan? Oh, going to set up the hammer jump from... Okay, just... I forgot that you could just speed down that way and set it up like so.
See a little pause buffer strats. Place the bomb, move up 8 pixels. And he seems happy, but
Nope.
not on the first attempt. I'm sure he'll give it another try.
Yeah, it's not the easiest thing to line up. It's double pixel perfect. Big chest only having 20 rupees.
Well, pulling it off on the second try is plenty good enough.
In the meantime, TRANQ is going through the escape sequence. 2 chests left in the dark maze. First one, there's the other green rupee. So now it comes down. 10 arrows. We have 2 big keys left to find, folks. So where would you go from here, Scooty?
I think I would just go to Turtle Rock. I'd make the play. You've got, a handful of items and the Mimic Cave. I think I'd make that play. I'd take the risk.
Looks like Mikan disagrees. I think we're going to see...
Mikan hasn't done Thieves Town yet. Got to do the second half of Thieves Town.
Also hasn't done the... Well, Sick Kid, but I don't think we've seen the dig spot yet. So while our runners are taking care of some of their last stuff, please give them a follow if you haven't already, as they are certainly giving us an excellent race.
So to answer our question from a little while ago, Sick Kid had that 300 rupees. That was the difference between our 2 runners. And now all of a sudden, we've got Mikan with just tons more rupees than TRANQ.
Alright, now for Thieves Town. We only have 1 chest left. While TRANQ is right now... We're at least going to see the first 2... The only 2 chests in Aga Tower. The question is TRANQ actually going to go up entirely? This may prove to be a costly mistake. If TRANQ actually goes up, we don't know yet.
Nope. Just gonna save and quit out. So we're coming up on a pretty important chest here, I think, for this game. Mikan is gonna check the Thieves Town big chest, which TRANQ was not able to do. With us missing 2 big keys, this could be huge.
Indeed. But first, Mikan has to take care of the attic, blow a hole in the wall. Well, not the exact attic, but close enough. And I think... Alright, TRANQ is finally heading into Palace of Darkness. Nice spike dodge.
So what do we have left for possible locations? We've got this big chest here in Thieves Town. We've got a handful of chests we can check in Turtle Rock.
We have purple chest, we have dig spot.
We've got the small key room of Desert. I don't believe we've been there yet.
We haven't. There are 2 chests available in there. We could just dive straight into Turtle Rock right now. We cannot access Misery Mire yet. We still do not have the flute. And we already have some people calling for the flute to be in this big chest in Thieves Town. Let's see if they're right. Well, it's blue.
Yeah, something blue. There's not too many blue things left to find. So it was about an hour ago that we were talking about where that Turtle Rock Big Key could be, and I said it might be in the vanilla Big Key chest. The odds of that are a lot higher now than they were then.
That is true. I'm curious if we're gonna end up seeing Vanilla Flute to Misery Mire to Psychedelic Blind? What the?
What's going on?
Mikan, are you feeling okay?
I have never seen this happen before. Hopefully he can get through it and nothing happens. That's really bad.
I think Mikan is able to see well, kind of, but yeah. Folks at home, this is why you don't touch Fuzzy.
I guess the game decided to give us one of the rooms in the Hell randomizer.
Okay, with that, Mikan has finished up Thieves Town.
Oh, we're back to normal. Oh man.
And yes, our eyes will recover. Alright, now Mikan is going to rescue the dwarf-turned bullfrog, and then we'll probably see what's in the purple chest. I like what TRANQ is trying to do. Took the bow path and bonked his way back to the 300 rupee chest, saving the key right now. Perhaps TRANQ does not want to use the hammer yum strats if he can avoid it. We know that he can do it, but you know, I still wouldn't want to do that trick.
Yeah, I'd avoid it if I could. But at this point, we know that Pod is a crystal for us, so we've got that 6th key out there somewhere that we're gonna stumble across sooner or later, likely.
That is true. Don't know where it is, but it will likely be found outside of Ganon's tower. I'm just trying to figure out where it can be. Well, that and the big key to GT. Maybe this purple chest will have the answer.
Yeah, and we'll see if he routes this into Desert, because he did just pick up the Desert Small key.
Gotta love the wildlife that want to take away your chest. Fortunately, no longer a problem, and it is the mushroom!
Mushroom with no flute. So it does look like he's going to head into Desert. If you enter Desert, are you going to clear Desert completely? Are you going to go all the way and complete it? Get that pendant?
No way to complete. We're still missing the big key from the place.
Oh, good point.
However, we will have access to 2 new chests, so maybe we'll get something good out of them. And Mikan is making the smart decision. Check the east side first. You can easily swing around. Oh, wait. Mikan already dived in here once. Makes sense.
Yeah,
so...
our runners have been to the other spots. They just haven't checked these 2 chests.
Chest 1, second bottle.
As TRANQ just pulls off the hammer jump pretty quickly.
It's not Desert. This leaves Dig Spot, Potion Shop, or Turtle Rock. And Mikan is heading to Turtle Rock. So
how many chests can we get here?
We can
we've got
get...
the 4 on the laser bridge are off limits, and TRANQ89 also, because we don't have the big key and also the big chest. So can we get 6 plus one more in the little roller room. Single roller room.
5 plus 6, I believe. So, big chest blocks that. There's a small chest beyond that. Then there's the 4 on Laser Bridge, then TRANQ89. 12 minus 7 is 5. So we have access to 5 chests right now without needing that big key. Well, 6 if you count Mimic Cave. Admittedly, you know, this is the mathematically smart play, so I have to give Mikan credit for this one.
Yeah, you never want to route in the potion shop without the flute.
Iron Rings asks if you can reach TRANQ89 without the big key. You cannot. Even if you were to do an entrance randomizer this game, the door to TRANQ89 is still locked behind a big key. So you'd basically have to use, again, either an entrance rando or go out of bounds. And out of bounds is not allowed here. Not for this Keysanity tournament anyway. So let's see what's in this first chest right here. Big key! Vanilla big key!
That has got to make Mikan so happy.
Mikan is not happy, already rage slashing. However, we still need the Ganon's Tower big key, so we're not done yet.
We are not done yet, but we've got 11 more chests here, plus Mimic Cave, plus the 22 in Ganon's Tower. We've got a lot of spots to check before I have to check those couple fetch quests.
That is true. TRANQ takes on King Helmasaur. Next 2 chests, not important in Turtle Rock. Next chest, the dreaded Chain Chomp room. Some call it the worst room in the game, some call it the second worst. Almost everyone calls it annoying.
On the bright side, they've got red mail, so it could certainly, these guys could hit way harder. Interesting use of Fire Rod here. I guess when you got half magic, you might as well. And then we find another full heart.
And Apollo FTW brings up an excellent point. We still haven't seen a Ganon's Tower small key yet. We technically don't need it if we can get the GT big key outside, but this is very rare. We are nearly 90 minutes in without having seen one of those keys.
Yeah, we might see a open mode style route through GT.
Let's at least take out Pokey. There we go. Alright, what is in the normal big key chest? Oh, there's the cape.
One other thing to note is we're still on Master Sword.
That is true.
And while that's enough to beat Ganon, and I hope these runners can both do it, it's not fun.
That is true. You have to spin attack Ganon if you have the Master Sword. TRANQ is making the same play to Turtle Rock now. And yes, folks, Bumper Cave Ledge was checked. It had nothing of importance. So the cape is only useful for lag-free invincibility, basically. Alright, how about that Mimic Cave check?
So if you're TRANQ right now, you're entering a completable dungeon, which, I mean, he doesn't know that's completable. He will in about 20 seconds. Well, we can go on this way first, but he'll find that big key. You're entering the 7th completable crystal at 1:28, and you've got to be feeling so good, but he's a couple minutes behind.
There's the flute.
Oh, no.
The Misery Mire area is now accessible. But first, let's take care of the rest of Turtle Rock. Piece of heart, not what we're looking for.
Let's be optimists here. That flute gets us to the potion shop, if we need to go there.
Alright, rolling pin chest. Nope, it's a map of Palace of Darkness. A little late for that. TRANQ now has that big key to Turtle Rock. If we don't see the big key to Ganon's tower, I'm actually going to start calculating it right now.
What, do we think there's only 2 overworld locations left that aren't flute locked? Was it just the potion shop and the shovel?
Yep, so, alright, I have the number prepared, folks, so... At least I think I do. Small key to Palace of Darkness. There it was on Laser Bridge. Map of Desert Palace. We don't need.
There's our tempered sword.
And small key to Skullwoods.
You know, we say we haven't seen a Ganon's Tower small key, but I think we saw one about 3 minutes into this match. I think there's one sitting in the Lumberjack Cave.
That is true, but it hasn't been collected.
Yeah, sure, and it never will.
Okay. I'm right now going through final numbers to see if this will make sense, but we may end up with AGA 1 in the end anyway. AGA 1 keeps on coming back. In the meantime, here's the Tridex.
Mikan got that tempered sword right at the right time.
Agreed. This it makes this fight a lot easier to deal with.
So we'll see what TRANQ drops for us.
If it's not the big key, I'm calling the game. Unofficially, of course, but I want to do this. Big key!
To desert! Oh, that is cruel.
With that in mind, folks, I'm going to butcher the numbers, but we're going to do this anyway. There are 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 37 locations available where Ganon's Tower Big Key is located throughout the land of Hyrule. Put in a number between 1 and 37 before Mikan goes into Ganon's Tower right now. I hope I counted that correctly.
I got 37 as well, so...
Okay, I feel better.
And certainly this is the play here. You go into GT, there's so many items here, they're quite quick. You gotta start here before you go anywhere else.
Alright, guessing game is done. I will attempt to actually identify the winner later. Number 1, wait, big key, but to where?
After all that, that's hilarious. He doesn't have a key.
Has to go back down. You can't forget the small key there, Mikans.
Oh, that is so great. All that lead up, and it was number 1. Who guessed 1?
Lost Lightning was the winner unofficially, so congrats. You get, I actually don't have a prize. Let me go into the vault. So yeah, this is how we are actually going to have a Ganon's Tower small keyless seed, technically. Wow. You know what, I can offer plenty of respect for pulling off a number 1 guess like that, so yeah. Lost Lightning, you get my respect.
Yeah, there's a chance that Mikan doesn't pick up any of these chests. I mean, what could he benefit? He could find butter, sword, of course. Is that it? A bottle that happens to have blue or red in it? He may not check any chests.
That is true. We may see Mikan being a kind Hylian upon taking out Trolldorm 2.
This could be a 0 GT key seed.
Which is incredible. So yeah, Mikan entered go mode for Bob's torch. Just wow.
And he's just tearing through the gauntlet so far.
Two more rooms left, and they involve ice physics.
So he's got powder, he's got red mail, he's got silvers. You
Not
can't
much.
really ask for much more.
Well, you could ask for golden sword or another bottle, as stated. But Mikan may be confident enough to take on the rest of the tower plus Ganon at the end without needing to worry about that.
A solid fight on Landmo too.
TRANQ took out the first phase of Trinex and the second phase of Trinex. And now TRANQ is about to be trolled with the wrong big key. And gave one rage slash before being forced to celebrate the crystal.
That's just so mean.
Alright, Mikan is already in the double quad torch area.
So really, for TRANQ to have a shot in this, we're probably going to have to see some Moldorm 2 falls or a Ganon fall. And TRANQ's got to go left side, I think, here to start.
That is true. If TRANQ does not go left side, and a vanilla small key comes into play, then TRANQ may be lost on the right. We don't want that. So we will see what happens. In the meantime, Trolldorm 2 approaches. Will this be a quick kill, and will Mikan be kind or cruel when it comes to the last possessions?
So good for TRANQ. There was no vanilla keys over there.
Mikan is kind. TRANQ did go right side first, but didn't get anything of value, it looked like, so not too much time was lost.
So Mikan battling Aga 2, which I didn't think this would be the first time we saw Aga in this match, but thankfully we did not have to do Aga 1.
I have to agree. You know, sometimes nothing wrong with a sub 2-hour Keysanity seed here. I mean, look at this. Routing was excellent for our runners.
Oh, fantastic triple.
And they knew where to go, when to go. It's just a slight difference of execution for the most part. And execution is causing TRANQ to struggle a little bit with those red mimics, but gets through. Time for the gauntlet. But for Mikan, time for Ganon himself. What are Ganon's words of wisdom for today? Burrito talk. What type of burrito do you prefer, Scotty? Or Scooty, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. Chicken, I guess. I'm pretty basic.
For me, nothing wrong with veggie or tofu. Mikan, though, I think wants bacon on this. Trying to deal quick damage to Ganon in Phase 2. And already on Phase 3.
Such a difference a sword makes. Those two swords could have very easily been locked and not been on Laser Bridge, or the tempered in butter, which we didn't find. But you get that one upgrade from Master Sword, and it makes just a giant difference in this fight.
Agreed. All right, do we get a torch glitch? Ooh, that was an interesting double. Has to be careful.
One more hit ought to do it. And there we go. Mikan is finished with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 53 seconds.
The door. Now we have seen Mikan go through the door. That time is official. Get your GGs out in chat, everyone. Spam them in this chat. I don't know where Wild is located, but let's keep the cheers here, please. But that was incredibly fast. Wow.
So we're going to bring Mikan in for an interview here. Let's give him a couple seconds here to get situated.
And with that, I believe we have Mikan here in the commentator's booth. Mikan, do you hear us?
I do hear you. Hello.
Evening and GG.
What did you think about that seed?
I am super happy both Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower Big Key were where they were.
So what went through your head when TRANQ dropped the desert big key?
I saw the big key and I was like, oh yeah. And then I saw the desert and I said, ah crap. I'm going to have to flute to Meyer, aren't I? And then I get to Ganon's Tower. I see the thing on the torch and it's like, yep, there's the Meyer big key.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but Trolldor managed to cause some trouble for TRANQ there.
So one thing that we were noticing, we never saw a GT small key. Did that?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that something you noticed?
I did notice that. As soon as I picked up the big key, I selected my mirror. I said, no, wait, because I had to go grab that small key over there. And I was like, well, my fingers were already in the motion to mirroring out of there. So I had to go back in there and grab that.
Yeah, we had a bit of a panic moment. TRANQ's having a little issue here.
That's the third knockdown. Ouch.
On Moldorm 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing. Well, that's good. It sounds like it's pretty close then.
Yeah, it was a great race. You guys never were really in sync with each other, but it was never really that far off. I think you just kind of routed just slightly better, which gave you a few minutes of a lead.
And well, TRANQ, I hope you felt happy raiding Moldorm's Misery Mire key. That was what was in the last chest there. But yeah, it's... How worried were you that you may have had to face off against Aga 1, Mikan?
After I found the swamp small key, I wasn't at all.
Yeah, we kept trying to run the numbers and see how many keys we had and wondering if it was going to be necessary. And I think it was once you picked up the Thieves Town key is when we knew that we weren't going to see it, because TRANQ already had the desert small key by then.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I got that desert small key. I was like, well, I guess I better go check this as well while I'm here, just in case, you know, one of the Turtle Rock or Ganon keys happens to be over there.
So something that we did notice that both of you did is that you kind of avoided Pod for a very long time. Is that just because you didn't know if it was a crystal or a pendant, or was it something else?
Yeah, I think it was. I had a lot of other stuff to do, so while I could have completed it with 4 keys, I knew it would be a lot faster with 5, so I just ended up doing all my other stuff first. And I really wasn't, like, in a panic to find something at the time, like, oh, I need to find this right now. Like, I had the boots and I had the mitts, so I had plenty of, like, world maneuverability, so I didn't, like, need to, like, get over there to find something that would really unlock too much, I guess. I don't know. Not knowing if it was Crystal Trend is definitely it too.
Yeah, so, I mean, without sounding crass, most of these seeds look pretty similar. We really don't see anything new until you went and fought Blind. What was that?
Have you guys had seen that glitch before?
I have never once seen that.
I forgot that was a thing.
I did too until the other day. I was like, oh man, I should learn how to do this. So I did, and I ended up taking a little longer than I thought because I wasn't used to like the shadow circle coming in like it does during the desert cutscene. I wasn't used to that. I was like, oh crap! I hope I didn't softlock trying to do this stupid thing. I was really happy when it came back.
Yeah. So we've got Trank on phase 3 of Ganon right now.
So far, so good. Just has to avoid a Ganon hug or two, and this should be a clean finish. Ooh, that's not a good position for the torch glitch. Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen.
Torch glitches, whatever. In my opinion, when you have this amount of firepower.
Yeah. And you got a single followed by, oh, I thought it was going to be a double.
I think it was too close to the edge in order for that to be a double.
Yep. But here we go. This should do it.
Exactly.
And Drank's just gotta walk a couple steps through the door.
But with that, Trank has managed to finish off this race with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 47 minutes, 35 seconds. Get your GGs out in this chat, folks. Yeah, it's gotta love the sub 2 hour seeds for all of the runners involved.
Yeah, and we're not just, this isn't just a sub 2. I mean, we're, what, 141 essentially is just incredibly fast. That's probably one of the best times we've seen in the tournament so far. I don't know what we've seen.
Did anyone guess 1 for GT Big Key? Because they were right.
They sure did. We gave them what the option was between 1 and 37 was the number we counted.
And Lost Lightning had won the unofficial reward of my respect. Alright, right now we are hoping to get Trank in shortly. And with that, I believe we have Trank in the commentator's booth. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
GG, Trank. Good race there.
GG, Mikan.
Yeah, GG. Considering its Keysanity and all, I think a 7-minute difference is actually pretty cool. That seems really close to me.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, no, this seed started off very linear, it felt like. I'm not sure if it was just me, though.
Yeah, hey, go to Eastern. It's a little obvious, I guess.
Yeah, not only that, but the early game was loaded.
Yeah, we noticed that there was just items everywhere, but a lack of keys and a lack of Moon Pearl.
Oh, I love that Moon Pearl location. I'm glad I took a little detour, like, after I saved the old man. I didn't go up right away. I went and did other stuff first, just to see if I could get a key to finish up Hera. Luckily, I did find the small key, so I could grab the pearl.
Yeah, I don't remember where that small key was. All I know is I had it before I went to the old man.
I think it was in Eastern, maybe?
Yeah, I know you both had it very early.
It may have been Sahasrala's closet.
Yeah, maybe.
But the point is, that did come by relatively quickly, and good thing because Dark World access was guarded by Hera. So, Mikan, with this, you are 3-1. You are one match away from, I believe, making it into the play-in race. Who are you most afraid of facing?
Well, I think at this stage you'd have to say everyone, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to get to 3-1 and not have a runner have a chance in that match. I mean, obviously, there's a lot more. There's a disparity in some of the 3-1s. Like, I know I've watched you do this race. You're a lot better than I am, and Ben, I believe, is sitting at 3-1. Obviously, I mean, he's a fantastic runner, but anybody's got a chance if they can get that far.
That is admittedly a fair point. With Keysanity, anything can and will happen.
Yeah, pretty sure I'm doomed, but that's okay. It'll be fun.
TRANQ, will you at least play out your last week?
Well, I will definitely play with the last week.
I appreciate that. That's the way to do it.
So yeah, it's a fast beginning, interesting middle, troll subversions at the end. Any other thoughts when it comes to this seed?
I'm not sure about Mikan, but that's the first time I've ever entered GT with no small keys and no big key.
Yeah, I think for both key types, I believe that's the same for me as well. I totally mirrored as soon as I found the big key, and completely I forgot to grab the small key right over there. Luckily, I didn't scale the tower first. That would have been a little embarrassing. Though, at that point, it felt likely that there was a small key up there anyway.
There wasn't. I believe TRANQ opened up all the chests on the way up, including Moldorm's last possessions. Shame on you, TRANQ. The only small key I saw was the third one to Misery Mire.
Yeah, once I saw Mikan finish there, I figured I might as well show off the remainder of the chests to people who are watching.
I noticed that I didn't find both Ice Palace keys. I only found one of them. But from my vision, I like the oh gosh, what was it on the right side of? It was the Hera big key that was on the right side of Ice Palace that you were supposed to go to Hera to find the cane so you could come back and finish Ice Palace. I liked that.
Well, yeah, that was pretty good. Part of the logic.
Yeah, both of you, beautiful first try Ice Palace bomb jumps.
Yeah, I think one of the differences in this race, I mean, it was close, just a 7-minute race. Mikan went into ice with a key, and I believe TRANQ had 0 going in, and that's going to save you, a minute or two. That's a significant portion of the difference.
Yeah, I ended up having to take the long way around to full clear with no keys.
Oh, I see, yeah. I don't even remember where I found that key. I normally forget where I find unimportant small keys like that, but yeah, that one does seem like it was pretty good. Were you scared at all when you found the flute like I was?
I was thinking GT big key might be over in the Mire area.
Oh yeah,
but
absolutely.
The vanilla Turok key and the vanilla Ganon Tower key.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it's just always a magical moment whenever you see the lack of dialogue bots show up. But yeah, I think that covers all of my questions. Do you have any more, Scooty?
No, I am all set. Thanks, guys, for this great race. I really enjoyed watching both of you.
Thank you guys for commentating. Thanks to the tracker as well as Dark Shadows for the restream. And good luck in your next race there, Mikan.
Yeah, and thank you to the commentators, and good luck on the remaining matches when you play them out.
Give it up once more for Mikan and TRANQ. Please give them both a follow if you haven't already.
So thank you to our tracker, Ms. Metroid, and to my co-commentator, Wolfman2000. This was a fun one.
Indeed. But if you still want to see some more Link to the Past randomizer action, hop on over to Speed Gaming 2. We have a quad match, Voolagin versus Buckshot Boo 24, as well as Trojan Dude 12 versus D2 Kemps. That should be an interesting tournament matchup as well. But for now, I think I need to get some potion because, whew, that was an interesting one. So, for Ms. Metroid, our tracker, for Dark Shadows 59, our restreamer, for our runners, for Scooty Puff, this is Wolfman2000 saying, until next time, watch out for Troll Dorm. Later!